assume that's real, not give you an exact verification on height, so my shit can't be debunked by the U-2 spy plane, and leave this to be a dead end for all of you guys to suffer through. There's literally no evidence in this dude's statement. No evidence in this dude's position. I follow the evidence where it leads, and this guy doesn't have any.
We should continue with the Bible route then, and just say goodbye, I guess.
I mean, it would be nice.
If you have questions on science, I can do my best to answer the science question, just like I do my best to answer the Bible questions.
But
again,
you never answer the science questions
since forever.
Yeah,
I told you I'm trying to do my best to please you. Okay.
But here's the thing. You can't just say because it's too far away as an answer. Okay, because that would make sense if I said, oh, you can't see this Dodge Charger all the way at the very end because the angular resolution of your eye is insufficient to see a object of that size at that distance. That's something that I could actually understand. But given the size and the scales that we are talking about, you should easily be able to see not only the southern celestial point, but every other goddamn star in the fucking sky. But we don't. And the reason we don't is simple. The Earth isn't fucking flat. But whenever I try to get you to explain these contradictions to me, you just give me a hollow answer of because magic. That's literally all I'm saying. Because perspective. What is perspective? Perspective is perspective.
Can I ask you a basic question? Can I ask you a basic, not related matters?
You broke up there, but
Red?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Red, can I ask you a basic question? Okay. How does life start?
Irrelevant to the shape of the Earth.
I know. I told you it was irrelevant. I just want to know. How do you think life...
I have no fucking clue. Abiogenesis is not my shtick.
Okay.
But I know someone that... I'll tell you what. Let's hold on 1 second, Rush Ray. Let's say goodbye to Red's if he wants to take out. And I know somebody, actually, that you can speak to about where life came from. And that,
I want to know... I do want to know what relevance that has to the shape of the Earth. Because I'm here to talk about the shape of the Earth. Because when we're talking about evolution and abiogenesis and chemistry and stuff like that...
It's just his thing. It's his thing, Red. He just wanted to... I think he just wanted to know...
To bring up an irrelevant topic? Because I'm an astronomer.
No, I just wanted to know. Yeah. I told you it was irrelevant. I just wanted to know. It's okay. It's done. You don't know how life started.
Okay, so Ray, can we wrap it up by you honestly didn't have an answer to his questions. I just want to make sure we get that on record here. When he asked questions like, how is it we can't see the northern star from south of the equator? Why can't we see it from all positions like we can't see other things? Anything that's circumpolar, you can't see it at any and all latitudes. So on a flat Earth, that has nothing to do with distance. Okay, distance would be irrelevant. You should be able to see it from any position on a flat Earth.
Correct.
Andromeda's millions of miles away. I understand 10 times the size of the moon or something. It's still visible.
I understand
3
the
times
point.
the size of the moon.
Okay,
How big is Andromeda? It's like 3 times the size of a moon, right? The angular diameter.
Who you asking me?
In what model?
Let me try something, Steve. Okay.
What are stars for you? What are stars for you? Burning sun in a distant galaxies with other planets going around.
First of all, no. That's a straw man right there. The stars aren't burning. Okay, said that.
You assume that you would be able to see them. That's just an assumption. So.
No. Okay. Listen. Everything that I believe is. You may find this crazy, but it's actual facts that have been demonstrated in reality.
And I'm sure you believe in evolution.
Yeah, I do believe it. But if I
exactly,
told you that,
but you believe in fact and reality, but you believe you're a shape-shifting monkey and that cows can turn into whale. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Red, do you believe that?
I straw man too.
Reds, I've been meaning to ask you.
Are you? Yeah. Well, actually, all of us are primates. So, hello, fellow primate. How does it feel?
I'm not a ape, and I don't live on a spinning ball.
Yeah, basically his argument is, I don't believe the round Earth because Bible, God, mountain, I can't fucking verify or know the height of. I ain't no goddamn monkey.
I know monkey.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can verify the fact that you're a shape-shifting monkey and that cows turn into whale. I'm sure you can verify that.
So
I
got to do this.
No, I can also verify that you don't know evolution based on what you just said, because evolution does not mean I'm a shape-shifting monkey. I don't even know the fucking topic, and at least I know that much.
But you could be.
So
yeah, basically, this guy thinks we live.
Right?
Yeah, this guy thinks we live on a flying pizza, and yet wants to go ahead and criticize my intelligence.
Why can't we hear Chris?
I'm sorry, you cannot insert the flat Earth into the heliocentric model, thinking a flat disk is going around the sun or whatever. You cannot assume and put that in your vacuum of space.
Which is why my position is not an assumption. My position, which is based on geometry and observations, is based on
an assumption,
fact.
which is the Big Bang. You start with an assumption,
name one
which
assumption.
is the Big Bang.
Name one assumption that I make when it comes to the shape of the Earth. Name one assumption I make when it comes to the shape of the Earth. Go.
That we would be able to see every stars from every distance. That's an assumption.
No, that's not an assumption. So you're off to a really bad start so far.
You say we should be able to do so. You assume we should, but we cannot.
No, that's not an assumption. So therefore, it proves
your point.
No, that's called a geometric fact. Now, would you like to try again?
Well, that's an assumption. That's an assumption.
No, it's a geometric fact.
You can see every star from every point on my model.
No, that's called a geometric fact. So do you honestly think that parallel lines do intersect? Do parallel lines intersect?
No.
No, they don't? Okay, then your position is officially a contradiction, so I highly recommend that until you get your shit together, you shut the fuck up.
And
I'm seriously thinking that you're just...
What about convergence? What about convergence? Let's say we are in a very long corridor, okay? Or the parallel lines, are they not going to converge to a point and meet?
But
as you say, it's impossible, but are they not doing it?
But they will never cross over into distance, which is what would be required in order for your shit to match reality. Train tracks never cross over in the distance. Now, do they? Because the actual law perspective is a fucking bitch for you, isn't it?
Sure, my friend. Again, your whole model is based on assumptions, but sure.
Well, until you're actually able to name what assumption is being made, I'm going to have to call bullshit.
Well, I told you, from Big Bang to evolution and everything in between is a lie.
Big Bang is irrelevant to geometry, and so is evolution. It's irrelevant to the geometry of our planet. We're talking about shapes here, my friend. Keep it on track.
But Big Bang and then gravity making rocks spinning around things
and gravity is irrelevant to geometry. Stick to geometry, my friend.
Okay, if we take out gravity, then you don't have a ball floating in space, do you?
Okay, are these two separate questions? Why is Earth a ball and is Earth a ball? Are those two separate questions?
What?
let me repeat.
Exactly.
Are these two separate questions? Why Earth is a ball?
Two questions,
and
then yes, they are two separate questions.
Are those two separate questions?
Again, if you ask two questions, then yes, it's two questions.
No, is it two different questions that have different answers?
Yeah, if they are okay, different questions that have different answers, that's different, right? Because two questions are two different questions. They are not the same.
Are you really this dense? Are you really this dense?
I must, because I'm not flying off in space.
Yeah. Why are you not able to grasp this very simple concept? No, and also, you're not flying because of gravity. So why exactly do you not understand that why Earth is a sphere and is Earth a sphere are two separate questions that have total answers?
I told you I understand there are two different questions. If you ask two questions, they are by default.
Okay, if you understand that those are two different answers, stop conflating gravity with geometry.
And while there's a break, Chris, check your email real quick. We're having some issues with hearing you. If you can hear this,
yeah,
go
I
ahead,
can
Reds.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, can now. Okay. All
this
right,
guy
Rice.
literally doesn't know is versus how. I think I'm gonna tune out here.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
get back to me when you have some actual evidence for the flat Earth. Okay.
I'll get back to you when we have Mr. Intelligent Design.
Oh God! No, actually, please don't get back to me once you have Mr. Intelligent Design. In fact, Kyle, you can go fuck yourself if you have Mr. Intelligent Design.
Oh no, we still have an arrangement, sir. I'll have you know.
Fuck me. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go kill myself with a bungee cord. Peace out.
Good. See you, Reds. Okay, so you alluded to your proclivities with evolution, so I figured that this would be a great talk for Steve to jump in with, and then Chris can answer any questions that you have as well, because he knows the Bible inside and out. So do you want to go ahead and try to make your case for evolution?
I don't know it that well, but...
Oh, yes, you do.
Well, my point is that we can observe four things: speciation, variation, natural and unnatural selection, none of which are evolution. If you decide to add billions of years to this and call it science and think that a cow can turn into a whale, I don't think it's science. I believe it's scientism.
All right, so you want me to address this? Okay, so can you show me a citation in science where it shows a cow turning into a whale? That's the claim. Can you show me your citation for that so we can address it?
It was. Let's do this before you jump into the science aspect. Let's have Chris speak to the the biblical aspect of the verses that he's getting this from, and then you can come in and talk to him about the science. That way we get kind of like a two-pronged approach, and you both can get involved, because I feel like Chris has sat there patiently the whole discussion. So Chris, jump in there with the Adam and Eve story, or the story of creation. How do we know that's allegory or a metaphor? And then when you're finished with that, Steve, you can explain why it doesn't make sense scientifically.
Okay, so in the Bible, we actually have multiple different creation stories. Isaiah and the book of Job both present a chaos creation, where God basically battles these chaos demon dragon creatures, very similar to other myths of the time, like Baal kills and slays Rahab and a few others. Then you have two different versions of creation in Genesis itself. Genesis 1:1 through 2:3 is a creation story which is basically a direct copy of the Enuma Elish, which is the Babylonian creation myth. And then Genesis 2:4 through however many verses are in Genesis 2, I don't remember, is the second creation story. And both of them contradict each other. For example, was woman created after man and after all the animals, or at the same time as man? Because both Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 contradict each other on that. Was there plant life before Adam was created? Was there a garden? Was the garden made before or after? And a bunch of other things that are all also, the method by which God ends up creating is also different, well, because in Genesis 1, he separates waters from the waters, same way Marduk ends up slaying Tiamat and splitting in her, and she's basically a primordial sea goddess of a sort. Splits her in half, and the top becomes the firmament, bottom the land, firmament, water area. Whereas in Genesis, and this was in Genesis 1, Genesis 2, on the other hand, we already start at the land, and then he causes a spring to well up. So we have two completely contradictory creation stories. The Genesis 1 looks like it was added at a later date. We think most scholars agree that it originally began with the Genesis 2 creation myth. The Genesis 2 creation myth and what follows later is basically a parallel of the Babylonian exile. It is in terms of the storyline, portrays that very well. So you have